Hello guys and welcome to my new video, and today we're going to talk about the House election that will happen in 2026. Okay, a very important election and a very important battleground because the Republicans and Democrats have been fighting in terms of getting their senators, state senators and state members of the House as well of every state, trying to redistrict the maps in order to favor both parties. Okay, and that's what happened, at least what has been happening over the course of the last few weeks and few months. You started with Texas, then we got Missouri, California, Indiana is trying, Ohio as well, Florida maybe, and we'll see if they can actually deliver, because right now we have the confirmations of Texas and California, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Missouri as well. So those are the three states right now. They have they have different maps and different news for the Democrats and the Republicans. Texas added 5 extra seats for the Republican Party. California added 5 extra seats for the Democratic Party, so that's a 0-0. And then we have Missouri adding 1 extra seat to the Republican Party, just right here alongside House, the 5th district here. This one right now is a Republican district, even though it doesn't show here because it's still in court, I think. In 2000, you also have a new map. I'm sorry, let me just go here. You have the Missouri district map here. Look at this. It's now a very weird shaped district, but it's a Republican district, so they want to let Missouri stay like this. I'm sorry, I'm just doing like this. So instead of having 1 Democratic seat over the Kansas City suburbs, they want 0 Democratic seats there, and they want a Republican seat, a new Republican seat here. It's very weird shape, as you can see here, because they're splitting Kansas City, Missouri in 2, so they are splitting voters. As you know, the factors that decide gerrymander: you need to pack voters of the same party, and then you need to split voters so you can the other party in a minority. That's what this is about, okay? And right now, in terms of the interactive map of the 270 to win, this is right now in terms of toss-ups and in terms of the what is Republican and what is Democrat. So I would say right now, in a kind of my own prediction at this point, I would say that New Mexico is probably going to stay blue because Latinos have been shifting to the right, so you would imagine this might be a competitive race. And it might be a competitive race. I'm not saying it won't. I'm just saying that while we saw in previous elections this year, general elections in Virginia, New Jersey, also in California as well, and some special elections that were crucial. For example, Tennessee's one that got a huge turnout, was almost 70% of 2024. And that's actually something, okay? You may say, but it's a special election. Doesn't matter, because 70% of 2024 is actually significant. You can actually measure how the enthusiasm and turnout is. And the Democrats have been outperforming in Latino communities, especially around Fairfax County, Prince William County, Loudoun County in Virginia. Also, when you go to California, you have here in these very important areas, Los Angeles County, San Diego County, Imperial County, very important as well for the Latino population. And in Texas, you saw here, this was one of the highest overperformance by Trump in 2020 and in 2024. And right now might be the reason why Democrats might have been doing such slightly better or much better in those areas, because people are just getting fed of Trump. They really want the affordability crisis to be solved, and it's nowhere near that, okay? But I would say that for that reason, I think that Vicente Gonzalez, if he is about to run again, he's probably going to win. So I'm going to be safe, even though the Republicans want that to flip. I would say that this will stay Democratic, because given of the underperformance the Republicans have been having in terms of many Latino states. Here in Iowa, I think this will flip, because this was very competitive in 2020, if I'm not mistaken, or 2022, I think. This actually was within 1,000 votes, I think, and this will probably flip. Nebraska, Don Bakeman is retiring, so that's why this is very important, and now the Democrats might pick up that seat. Also here in Colorado, this was a very competitive seat in Colorado in 2024. I think it was barely win for the Republicans, only by 0.8%. So in a slightly better night for the Democrats, which is arguably what is most possible, okay? Even if you are a Republican, you might think, Oh, we're not going to lose the popular vote by 8 or by 9, as people are saying, but probably going to lose it like by 3 or 4, and we're going to lose a majority. That's almost 100% certain. So, if that happens, this is one of the seats you'll see the Democrats winning, okay? And that is my opinion, but it's also what is most probable here. You have two Republicans up for re-election, and one of them is retiring to run for governor. So you would say that this one will flip instantly, and the other one here, Arizona 6th, it's slightly better, but this is a Latino-heavy population just outside of Tucson, okay? So I would say this will flip again because it's a Latino-heavy population, and Latinos have been shifting, even though it has an incumbent, so this can go the other way around as well, but we'll see about that. We'll see in Alaska if Mary Patola can actually run again. We don't know. And in California, this is actually interesting, and I would say that Republicans might stay with this one here, but they will flip the two here, and then you have also in California the redistrict. So these two Republicans here are getting out of their seat, as you can see in the map. So right now the Democrats are at 215. They just need 3 to get the majority. So that will be one here in Washington, okay, and the other one might be in Wisconsin, because this is we still have one to go, but okay, this in Wisconsin is a very competitive district, okay? As you can see here, in Wisconsin, this one is a very competitive district. I know it is a wider, it's almost 3 points, but I'm just saying that this will flip because Wisconsin is a swing state. It has a huge turnout, and the enthusiasm is in the Democratic side, because we saw that in April when we got the Wisconsin Supreme Court race. We didn't have the YouTube channel, I know that, but right now we do have, and I saw that. I was very sensitive to that number, and the Democrats won by 10 points, I think, in Wisconsin. That was a surprise for me. I thought that maybe the Republicans were actually doing a better job, losing by 5 or so, but they lost by 10. It was brutal, and I think that the Democrats will win the seat. Wisconsin is very weird. It has a bit of an aggressive gerrymander. In 8 seats, the Democrats only control 2 of the 8, which is pretty mind-blowing, considering the state is 50-50, even if the Democrats might have a slightly edge, which is very weird when you consider the map right now. And you also have this in Virginia. Jan Kingan's probably going to lose that seat, okay? It's expected. It's Republican. That area of Virginia Beach has a problem for the Republicans. It was 4 points almost. But this has a problem because of Latino, okay? Latinos here in Virginia Beach City, very important. And also the suburban voters that are actually shifting towards the Democratic Party. Again, because Trump, as you know, he's not a huge fan of the suburban voters. He was not in 2018, not in 2016, not in 2024. Not even in 2024, because you saw many of the servers here around Delaware County, just north of Columbus, those shifted, so that means that he's not a huge fan at all of the servers. So you would say House 1 in Ohio, this will go towards the Democratic Party, but we have a problem, because Ohio now has a redistrict map, as you can see here. It's a very weird map. Look at this. This is the city of Cincinnati, Ohio, and that's why I'm saying the school will stay Republican, because this is supposed to be very competitive, and this is a Democratic seat, but across the redistricting we got also pick up here Marcy Kaptur probably retiring, I don't know, after this aggressive redistricting affecting her own seat, okay? It was just right here, now it's all the way down with more rural and conservative areas, and I think it will still stay like that. And if you go here to New Jersey, this in Pennsylvania, they were both going to flip to the Democratic Party, okay? Those were very close. I'm sorry. Very close in 2024, as you can see here. Here, Pennsylvania. So you see here, this was only a point, and this is the suburbans and Allentown, which is Latino heavy. It's the heaviest place in Pennsylvania with the most percentage of Latino voters. So that's why I'm saying this is going to flip. And here in Harrisburg, Scott Perry, I think he's retiring, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not so sure about that, but this is a part of Pennsylvania, and it has been shifting a lot, especially when you go by county. Cumberland County is the one who has been shifting a lot in the last few years, especially due to the Trump effect, if you will. And that one is gonna go to the Democratic side. At least I suspect that. In New Jersey, I think this one will stay Republican. Okay, it's not 100%, of course, but I think this will stay Republican by a slightly margin, because here in this will stay Democratic because it's a retiring, and then you know that the incumbent effect can actually matter. And the other one here, this was a very close race, and I suspect this will flip because it's again the suburbs, and Trump is a little bit of antagonizing figure in the suburbs. Not a little bit, it's quite a lot actually. And now we only have one here. Laura Gillen will probably stay Democratic because it's already Democratic. And I just want to check that district to check where it is, to be honest. It's here in Long Island. It was a flip last time, but it's the same thing. A lot of Latinos, probably New York, and yeah, a lot of suburban voters, because when you go outside of the New York City area, which is just right here, when you go outside of New York City, have a lot of suburban areas alongside Long Island, alongside Long Island, also here around New Jersey. So I think this will be the map. And when you consider the retirings right now, you see here, we're going to have a special election in Georgia 14th, so that will be, of course, is excluded from the list, but you have a lot of in very Republican key areas, okay? Around Texas, a lot of them, probably not a lot of key, but in Maine, this is bad for the Democrats, but Sharon Golden is not running for re-election. Also here, Chris Pappas, but I mean, it doesn't really matter because it's going to be a Democratic year. But when you consider, for example, this here in Georgia and probably here in Florida as well, this actually matters, and especially this one in Nebraska, which will be absolutely crucial. Don Bacon not running for election will probably settle in terms of the Republican chances of winning that seat. So guys, I think this was the video. I hope you all liked the video. Right now, my prediction stays like this: 223 Democrats, 212 Republicans. This is not actually a really bad result when you consider the climate. But I just want to say thank you, guys, for all the support. We got now 104 subscribers. This video will be out today at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Today is the 17th of December. I just hope you have a beautiful day, a beautiful evening, and don't forget to see you again on Friday, the 19th. Thank you, and I'll see you there.